Welcome back to Royal Chronicles, where we peel back the curtain on the untold stories, scandals, and secrets of the world's most famous families. I'm your host, and today we're diving into a story that connects royalty, debt, and one of the most notorious figures of our time. Before we get started, if you're new here, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss our deep dives into royal drama. And if you're already part of our Royal Chronicles family, drop a crown emoji in the comments to let me know you're here. Now, imagine this: you're drowning in debt, your reputation is in tatters, and then a lifeline appears, but it comes from someone who will later become known as one of the most dangerous predators in modern history. What would you do? Well, Sarah Ferguson, the Duchess of York, didn't have to imagine. She lived it. And according to explosive new revelations from palace insiders, her relationship with Jeffrey Epstein was far more complicated and contentious than anyone knew. Stay with me, because what I'm about to reveal will completely change how you see this royal scandal. Let's rewind to the early 2000s. Sarah Ferguson, affectionately known as Fergie, was in serious financial trouble. After her divorce from Prince Andrew in 1996, she'd struggled to maintain the lavish lifestyle she'd grown accustomed to as a working royal. Book deals, television appearances, Weight Watchers endorsements, she tried everything. But the debt kept mounting. We're talking millions of pounds here. By 2010, things had gotten so desperate that Fergie was caught in a cash for access scandal, where she was filmed accepting money in exchange for promising access to her ex-husband, Prince Andrew. Her reputation was at an all-time low. The royal family had essentially cut her off. She was persona non grata at palace events. It was during this dark period that Jeffrey Epstein entered the picture. Now, Prince Andrew and Jeffrey Epstein had been friends since the 1990s. Their relationship is well documented and deeply disturbing, but today we're focusing on a lesser-known aspect: Epstein's financial entanglement with Sarah Ferguson. According to royal sources who've recently come forward, Epstein loaned Sarah Ferguson approximately £15,000, about $18,000, to help pay off debts to her former assistant. At the time, Fergie publicly thanked Andrew for arranging the payment, calling him a good man who'd helped her in her hour of need. But here's what she didn't say publicly: the money came from Jeffrey Epstein. Here's where our story takes a fascinating turn. A royal source, someone close to the family during this period, has revealed that Sarah Ferguson and Jeffrey Epstein had a volatile relationship characterized by constant arguments over this borrowed money. The source claims that Fergie was always falling out with Epstein over the loan. Unlike Prince Andrew, who seemingly had no problem accepting Epstein's hospitality and friendship, Sarah reportedly felt deeply uncomfortable with the arrangement. She knew it looked bad. She knew it created obligation. And she desperately wanted to repay it and sever ties completely. But here's the problem: she couldn't afford to. The very financial desperation that had forced her to accept the money in the first place made it nearly impossible to pay it back quickly. And according to insiders, Epstein was not a patient creditor. He would apparently bring up the debt, remind her of it, use it as leverage. Some sources suggest he enjoyed having this power over someone connected to the British royal family. Think about the position this put Fergie in. She's a duchess, a former member of one of the world's most prestigious families, and she's essentially indebted to a man who's running a sex trafficking operation. Even if she didn't know the full extent of his crimes at the time, and it's unclear exactly what she knew and when, she certainly knew he was unsavory. The circles Epstein moved in, the allegations that were already beginning to surface, his infamous island, this was not someone any royal should be financially entangled with. The constant arguments, according to our source, stemmed from this fundamental tension. Fergie wanted out. Epstein wanted to maintain the connection. And in the middle was Prince Andrew, who apparently saw nothing wrong with any of it, continuing his friendship with Epstein for years after this loan was made. This revelation adds another layer to our understanding of how deeply Epstein had penetrated royal circles. He wasn't just friends with Prince Andrew. He had financial leverage over Andrew's ex-wife. He'd been to Balmoral, Windsor Castle, and Sandringham. He'd been introduced to other royals. The man had somehow managed to buy his way into the inner sanctum of British royalty. And the loan to Fergie. That was chump change for Epstein. £15,000 was nothing to a billionaire. But the access it bought him. The ability to say he'd financially assisted a duchess. The leverage it gave him over people connected to the Queen herself. That was priceless. To her credit, Sarah Ferguson did eventually repay the money and has since expressed deep regret over the entire situation. In interviews, she's called accepting the money a gigantic error of judgment, and has said she's very sorry for the association with Epstein. But these new revelations about the constant conflicts tell us something important. Fergie knew it was wrong even while it was happening. She fought against it. She argued about it. She tried to extract herself from the situation. That doesn't excuse the original decision to accept the money, but it does paint a more nuanced picture than the one we've had before. Here's what I want you to think about. If Sarah Ferguson, who was on the outside of the royal family and had limited power, could recognize that being indebted to Jeffrey Epstein was problematic enough to constantly fight about it, what does that say about Prince Andrew, who maintained a close friendship with Epstein for years, even after his conviction? The contrast is striking. Fergie wanted out. Andrew wanted to stay in. Fergie saw the danger. Andrew was apparently blind to it, or worse, didn't care. This story is about more than just a loan. It's about how predators like Epstein use money and access to trap people, even royals. It's about the different ways people respond when they find themselves in compromising situations. And it's a reminder that in royal circles, like everywhere else, following the money often leads you to the darkest truths. What do you think about these revelations? Do you believe Sarah Ferguson's expressions of regret? Should she have known better from the start? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single one. If you found this video eye-opening, smash that like button and share it with anyone who follows royal news. And remember to subscribe to Royal Chronicles for more stories the palaces don't want you to know. Until next time, keep questioning the crown.